Yep, it's that time of year where I remind you to just go buy bug screen. 0.2 cycles per second, that works out to a certain number of pulses per minute, is your lung and respiration rate, and it causes a dynamic change of about 10 millimeters or 1 centimeter. Your heart at 20 cycles per second baseline or top end, noise level causes 1 millimeter of reverberation in your tissues. You'll notice as you get higher and higher, it's lower and lower. At 80 cycles per second, we get 1 millimeter from the audible noise from a heart. Now, that includes all the way down to lower frequencies or upper frequencies. That's just the center point. Using 500 million cycles per second, or 0.5 gigahertz, all the way up to 600 gigahertz or higher, we have radar being used for biolocation, locating meat targets. Cops see through the walls in your home. Xavier spy. And of course, somebody had to invoke the name of a particular country and of course imply a bunch of crap, because this conspiracy theory is totally not a thought terminating cliche free speech trap on the internet to get you shut up by yelling a specific accusation at you. Go figure. So let's go on. Wikipedia.org/wiki/bioradiolocation. It's radar for meat targets. Let's go on. 2024.sci-hub.ru / a whole shitload of numbers, and then it brings up Zhang 2019 PDF, which is the actual file. Now, it's been known about for a while. Like you see it on anyway. Electromagnetic field radiation shieldings and other buzzwords. I'll include them in the video title. If you came here looking for someone to prop up your belief system about electrosmog or any of the other buzzwords, just get the fuck out. So anyway, here we go. How much does it cost for the shielding that they say is for your health and because 5G causes whatever? Okay, here we go. If you want to cover 5 studs of your house, shut up. It's 5 studs. Shut up. 1.5 foot between them. On center. You put it inside of the spaces between the studs. That's all you need. They just need to be that strip, and the extra material on the inside edge is used to staple it on the inside. Shut up. Yes, I know you're going to say something. Shut up. $160 to cover 5 studs. That's an 8 foot by 8 foot sheet. So you chop it up in the right size to fit. And if you want to be extra scrumptious, you can just glue it to the inside surface. Right. You're not going to use the staples to maybe bind a ground wire. Then someone in the comment section is going to say, you can't ground it, you have to, and then they'll give you a long set of instructions, and they'll talk about your inner zonk and your chakras and maracas. It's 5 studs for $160. You can get 8 studs if you do 4 foot by 25 foot for $71 from the same website. But I'm sure it's Tommy Copper invoked. Mosquito, insect, screen, and netting. Otherwise known as what everybody grew up with on their front porch that we would wall in the porch with. And this isn't steel, it'll be aluminum, it might be stainless steel, that sort of thing. It's made for indoor-outdoor use, and yes, you can paint over it. It makes a really, cool-looking, fabric pattern in the wall, whatever. Not like every apartment I've ever had has been RF Shield. Yes, this is a Faraday cage. Yes, it works fine. No, everything you're going to talk about doesn't change the fact that it still fucking worked. And I don't want to hear about wavelengths and chakras and maracas and electrosmog and EMF and ultra-low frequencies. And shut up. Learn. It's not mansplaining, it's geek-splaining. Here we go. Best bet on Amazon. Yeah, I just went to where you're going to look this shit up. The best one covers 12 studs for $93. It's 1.5 foot, literally 1.5 feet. That's 12 plus 6. 1.5 foot wide. But anyway, that covers 12 studs if you divide it out. And there you go. You just get it between the studs in the wall and staple it tightly against it in the wall sheet, nice and flat. And then the tabs coming in, you put a ground wire on, staple the ground wire to it, call it good. Yes, you can solder some of this. Some of it you can't. I don't care. Just put the wire on it and staple it all the way through, and then drill a really small hole top and bottom, going through it to put the wire on, and just keep running the wire up and down. Yeah, but I know, you're going to have arguments in the comment section. Yes, I know, and we're not supposed to be able to just put a bypass capacitor across the 120 volt line, because that's not how you get rid of electrosmog. You have to use the doohickey to make you spend $80 on instead of 20 cents. Because, of course, that's the way it is. And yes, someone down there who's got a sunk cost fallacy is going to scream that you have to spend hundreds and hundreds of dollars. It's prohibitive. It's all part of the conspiracy. Meanwhile, I'm telling you how to solve your problem and telling you to shut up about it. If it's your entire personality talking about a problem instead of solving it, and again, every couple of years, I end up having to do this. Mosquito and insect screen price tag ranges. Let's talk about the $400 solution. Covers 48 studs. It's a 6-foot by 100-foot sheet, otherwise known as what we used to buy at the feed and seed, the farmer's market kind of stuff, to do up our wraparound porches during mosquito season. And because it was just steel, it was cheaper at the time. These days, not necessarily. You might end up with aluminum. Seemingly, that would be more expensive. But it's cheaper because there's just more of it. It's made out of soda cans now. You don't mine it anymore. You just recycle it. Anyway, $406 for 6-foot by 100-foot section. And that's literally it. Linear feet. You want 8 feet or whatever the height is from one stud, the base plate to the top plate in your walls. And the next one down at 13 studs is $274, which doesn't seem like a good number. And that's 5-foot by 33-foot. Then we get the 1.5-foot by 100-foot, almost perfect, much. And that goes over 12 studs, hypothetically, $93. Then at 9 studs, you can pick from spending $123, $184, $194 by being 2-foot by 100-foot sections or 3.3-foot by 30, you get the idea. Or you can spend $19 just to cover 2 studs by having 1.25, that's 1 foot and 3 inches, and 11 foot long. So it almost covers 2 studs. And again, to repeat, or you can go to the Bio Shield whatever website where they sell prayer crystals and Orgon something dark side and spend $71 to do 8 studs or $160 to do 5. Which makes, really, it's an 8-foot by 8-foot thing for $160 because it's that. If you're not aware of it, that's $1 per square foot. There's the $10 per square foot. No, it's not that either. Do the math yourself. I literally at this point I'm not able to do math right now because I had to do how many studs is that? How many furlongs in it? How many hogsheads to the something? Anyway, and a 4-foot by 25-foot thing, which would be essentially 100 square feet, is $71 for 8 studs. That's the numbers. So let's talk about this. Can they look through your walls and figure out where you are? Yeah, but it's done pseudo-passively and pseudo-actively. It's derivative. It doesn't look for, it's not like in the movies at all, nothing ever is, where they have a 3D image of you. They put a representation of an average person. If you're missing an arm, it'll still show the arm because that's not what they're measuring. They're measuring your body cavities for your heart and your chest and the respiration rate to confirm a live human in the space. These were created originally as part of the method for scanning people physiologically by exposing them to like 1/10 of a watt of energy in certain frequencies to be able to detect a change not in you being there, having it reflect off, but a change in your volume, watching it affect the delay time between send and receive so it can detect not people, but detect your heart rate and respiration so that they wouldn't have to put cuffs on you. A cuff on your arm and detect that and strap around your chest. This is a passive way of analyzing a human being to make sure they're healthy by doing it every couple of minutes. They go ding, ding, and turn off. When I was in the hospital one time getting checked out because I had something horrible happen to me, they checked me out just long enough to do that. They said, this is free. It's experimental. I'm like, what is it? It uses radar to passively check your heart rate and your lungs. and we don't have to put anything on you so you can relax. It makes people rest easier, so they get actual accurate resting heartbeats and respiration. Go think, instead of putting a cuff on you, which actually causes stress. I mean, that's just kind of it. It's gets rid of the slop factor, and they were able to say, yeah, you're in good condition right now. I'd hurt my leg a long time ago. But anyway, and I found out recently I might have actually broken my leg without knowing it. How the hell? Anyway, let's move on again. But let's do the lungs again. 10 millimeters of displacement for lung or respiration in general at 0.2 hertz. Now that says 5 times a minute, or 5 seconds between breaths. And then anyway, the heart, 20 cycles per second on down to half a cycle per second at 1 millimeter. There's also 80 cycles per second approximately mid-band for the noise your heart makes. It's basically a bass note, and it does 1 micrometer of deviation, which is enough to detect, or not. And all this works between 600 gigahertz all the way down to 500 megahertz, which is just UHF band, that sort of thing. The company Xaver, not related in any way to Elon Musk, even though it includes the letter X, which he's obsessed with, Xavier Spy Bio Radio Location Equipment. Cops can see through your walls in your home, etc. Unless there's metal in the way. Now, one of the things about this you might not know about is to interfere with it, you just simply have to introduce similar noises. Don't. Or just put in any amount of material. Yeah, literally any radio signal source of any kind would be kind of telling. But if it looked like literally speaker cables or something, it's going to interfere with the shit hard. Because wires, a straight length of wire, is going to bounce the signal back. All you have to do is run audio through it by vibrating it. Or just put up bug screen. Just wallpaper your walls. The sound in the house will cause a reflection and they can hear it. Or just staple it to the wall inside and put it there. This goes along with you don't need 8 feet of height for a projectile barrier. This is where you put in a layer of ceramic tiles, small ones, that are covered on each side with that really sticky fiberglass looking stringy stuff that comes in a yellow grid for putting up tiles. You put that up on it, and then you inject a bunch of that RTV or silicone in it and squish it in and push it against it after you put up your bug screen with your ground wires that are stapled only, because you staple them repeatedly because you have to use staples anyway. Just make them the same thing. You can get stainless steel staples, apparently, and stainless steel wire sections. And then you just weave it up and down through the holes, and you're good. But anyway, and then after that, you put up your, now that you have your ceramic, you put up your steel plate, which also reflects signals. Or you put up something else. AR500 plate is suggested for 6 feet of height minimum. So, yeah, that's how to make your house literally unfriendly to unfriendlies. Saving it to the end. Now I'm going to bring up something else. Look up unusual rules that exist for really good reasons, or dumb laws for good reasons, or something like that. Get creative. Look up lots of different things. And look up a list of rules that forbid you from doing things that seem like a dumb idea, or maybe they're not. Now, how to troll contrarians. Tell them these laws exist and see how many of them get loud about it. See if you can get Trump to do one of them. Like that supposed rule about not being allowed to shower with your donkey. Just throwing that out there. I was looking it up and I found this stuff instead. And yes, there's some people promoting all sorts of BS on how to stop it. And of course selling overpriced Mosquito screen. And again, your best bet right now to cover 12 studs for $93 because that's better. Or you can go $406 to do 48 studs, which is more expensive, but you get 6 foot by 100 foot rolls instead of the 1.5 foot by 1. Isn't that just somebody splitting a 6 foot roll 4 times? So yeah, thanks for watching. Have a good day. Good luck with that. But this has been your consumer safety paranoia alert about, if you have a weakness, someone will exploit it. Don't have that weakness and don't let them exploit you. It doesn't matter if they tell you what you want to hear. They're just trying to get your money.